Cross Atlantic Gaming will soon be live every week on twitch.tv/Cross Atlantic Gaming. Come join me, Risky and Moose. Have some fun, have some laughs. Sub, win a game. Who knows? Things happen. Take care. Music.
Hello everyone and welcome to a very, very special episode of Cross Atlantic Gaming. This is episode 100. I'm your host, Risky the Kid, and joining me this week, as always, are my co-hosts, Chocolate Bear.
Made it to 100, baby!
And now you're done! And my other co-host, Moose.
Pew, 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 pew. There's my hurricane horns.
Should have put that in the little sound cue thing. I could have done that myself.
Oh.
Yeah.
Next time.
Well, I like mine better anyways.
That's true. That's pretty good. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we made it to episode 100 somehow. Somehow we did this thing. Someone tell me. And we've only had one change of hosts this whole entire time. Not too bad.
That's not bad. We started with 3 and we got to 100 with 3. So things are looking good.
I would say we're at least not losing people, losing numbers overall. Yeah, man, it's episode 100 though. So Chocolate, if you want to give your goodbye speech to the people.
Thank you for having me, folks. It's been a pleasure.
A few words, yeah.
Yes, yeah. I've just let me just a few pages.
It's funny because it's not
true.
happening. It's funny.
Oh,
It's funny because it's true.
Sorry, Bear. Still gonna have to work unless you find a replacement.
God. One day you might pay me.
As soon as we start getting paid, sure. All right. So as if you heard, you did hear the intro. You heard the intro before the music. Chocolate mentioned that we are going to be doing live podcasts from here on out, but maybe with a touch of video. Chocolate, you want to touch on that a little bit? If there's really anything
guys.
to say.
Well, just 101, baby. 101. You will see some beautiful faces in live video. That's right, you heard me. You're going to see my face, Moose's face, Risky's face, all the time, every episode. We're getting webcams, baby.
Woo!
Oh, hang on, I shouldn't have said webcam. That sounds so weird and freaky. Sorry.
If we can find them, because apparently they're a hot item when everybody's stuck in their house.
Yeah, before the show, we went on Amazon to see if we could just get some of those cheap. Not cheap, it's kind of just a standard, those Logitech cameras, right. And they're selling for like $250 on Amazon.
Yeah, it's a $70 camera.
Well, we've done well. We pre-plan the show, as always, and we decide right at the last second, while there's a pandemic, let's get cameras.
Exactly. So we will have some sort of video. I'm not sure about the quality, but you'll be able to see us.
I would say it'll be better than these still images you got right now, even though I look way better in my still image than I do when I'm actually speaking, and you have to see how pale I am at this point in my life and how hairy I am.
I was going to say, I don't look anything like that picture you're looking at right now.
I also think I somehow gained like 40 pounds since that picture. So
no, dude.
Funny enough.
They say the freshman 15, everybody's gaining the COVID-19 right now.
Love
Everybody gaining at least 19 pounds because the only place you're walking right now is to the refrigerator out of boredom.
Yep.
Getting a tan off that light from the fridge.
Yeah, no doubt. Just sitting underneath it like, this is the same crap I looked at 20 minutes ago.
It's funny talking about doing video podcasts now. I've picked my nose 3 times since we started this because it's got like an itch and there's something in there I can't get. And I'm currently doing it right now while I talk. And I'm just thinking how I'm really going to have to be conscious about what I'm doing or what's in the background or what's happening.
We're going to have to all have some sort of like quote unquote cough button for the video that we can just put up a picture of ourselves in case something's going on.
Right.
Got to think about these things beforehand.
Yeah, it just means I have to change my pajamas once a week because I record in my PJs every week.
Yep, every recording day is the new pajama day for Bear.
Exactly.
Just gonna have a suit on top and my pajamas on the bottom.
Yeah. Oh,
make this super legit.
I need to get online and see if there's a shortage of sweatpants because I'm running through like the same 3 pair and Never thought I'd wear these pairs of sweatpants so many times in a row.
Gross.
So it's not that they're dirty; they're just like starting to wear out. So I'm gonna have to stock up again on sweatpants.
Well, it's a scary
Sounds
world out
good.
there. Good luck if you go out. All right, so that was announcement number 1, just a fun little thing for episode 100. And I think going forward, having live video could be different, interesting, hopefully good. Hopefully it's a step in the right direction. All right, but next up, we want to do a Jackbox community play next weekend. I put that date in there without even consulting with YouTube, but does next Saturday work for everybody?
When do people have things going on?
Well, that's the weird thing. But like Chocolate, I know works, so it would have to be like right after his shift or something. I'm assuming.
Yes. Yeah, I'm working
Right.
late that day, so I can jump in for a bit.
Okay, so do you wanna? What time are you out usually?
So I'll be in and ready for 10:30 UK time. So what's that? 5:30 Eastern.
Yeah, so we'll do.
Okay.
You want to just start it at 10, Moose? You good with that? That'd be 5 my time, 3 your time.
Yeah, I think we can do that. 2 Pacific for anybody on the West Coast listening.
5 Eastern and 10 fake people time.
10
Sorry, what do you call it?
GMT.
GMT for you
Well, it's
GMT folk.
BST. It's
It's where time
BST
starts and
today.
ends, right, Bear?
Exactly same as the English language. We invented it all. We are the best.
And we just perfected everything.
Precisely. God bless
The
everybody.
USA.
America. Just go ahead and say it, Bear.
Yay, whoop.
All right, so Saturday, April 25th, 5 p.m. Eastern, we'll have a party on Xbox setup. Just hop in if you guys want to play. We're gonna, depending on how many people we have, there's plenty of different games we can be playing.
Right.
Moose has, I think,
I have all of them.
all of the Jackbox games at this point. So yeah, I'd like to just have a fun little community play with some people. So yeah, Saturday, April 25th, 5 p.m. Eastern. Just hop into party. We'll have everything squared away. We'll also have more details throughout the week on either in Discord or we'll post on Twitter, not Twitch.
And if you end up playing with us and like what you're doing, think you might want to do this with friends or family because you're not able to get out and physically visit people right now. I believe all these games are on sale through the developer until the end of the month. So
Yeah,
Oh, excellent.
check
That's
it out.
awesome.
I think I picked up all 6 versions for like $100.
yeah, that's not bad.
So
Plenty of games in there, so that'll be fun.
Yeah. And if you're not by your console, you can always drop in by phone, can't you? Because you don't have to play
anything. Yep.
by your console.
Yeah, and with the Xbox app, you can hop right into parties through that. So if you just have headphones plugged into your phone, you can get into the party that way, and then just put Mixer or are you using Mixer or
No,
Twitch,
just
Moose?
throw. I'll probably do Mixer if I can figure it out. I gotta do some troubleshooting. It's just
Okay.
user error at this point.
Yeah, I mean it's not a big deal what platform we're on either way, as long as people know where to
Right.
go. So
And you'll just need one device to play with, and then if you want one device or something else to watch from.
there you go.
Cool.
All right, so that's it for announcements. That should be fun. All right, next up, Moose.
There
You
might
did.
be some prize money next weekend too if people do well at trivia. So
Say
I'd
what?
participate if I were you.
Oh, dropping bombs. More details on
Interesting.
that to come. All right. Next up, Moose. You wrote up a little. I want to say a retrospective. That's what you called it, and I think that's a
Right.
fair word.
Sure.
This is just kind of. Well, do you just want to talk about it? This is the stuff
Yeah.
that's been happening since Cross Atlantic Gaming started back on May 30th, 2018.
Correct. So I did a little, like Risky said, a little retrospective of then versus now. So I'm going to go through a list of the hottest games out then and now, the hottest music, hottest movies, hottest TV. And then I went back and listened to episode 1 this morning. And I had a few notes for you boys since I
Oh,
wasn't
boy.
there for that episode. So,
Whoops.
let's start out with the hottest games out. May 30th, 2018. Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze had just come out for the Switch.
For $60.
Yeah, State of Decay 2, I believe, was dropping the day of the podcast or the day before. So, and then God of War came out 2 weeks previous to that, and then Detroit Become Human just released the same day as the podcast. So the new games that people seem to be peaking on right now, Doom Eternal is one of the bigger AAA titles that have been released lately. Warzone, of course, I think we're all dabbling or addicted to that at this point.
Yes.
Animal Crossing is another one of my addictions right now, and it seems to be one of the world's addictions with the numbers that it's showing with sales. So, and then the last one I wanted to mention was Fantasy VII Remake, because that game's just awesome.
That's the latest and greatest one for sure.
Yeah, no matter how many times you play it, right?
Yep.
So, music. The two hottest singles out in 2018 was "This Is America" by Childish Gambino. I think everybody remembers that.
That music video.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah.
And then "Nice for What" by Drake. So this was kind of, this was on the rise to his peak of mogul status, I guess.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that Childish Gambino song. If we're
not that one. His first few albums were really good.
We're good, yeah.
Yeah, and then he got political, and not saying he shouldn't, but he just grew up, and so did his music, I guess. So, and then now the two hottest songs out are, according to Billboard, are "Tootsie Slide," surprise, surprise, Mr. Drake again, and "Blinding Lights" by The Weeknd, and that song sounds like it came straight out of 1986.
It does. Megan plays that song nonstop around the house.
It's pretty awesome.
It's
I
a
like
good
it.
song, and
Yeah.
the first time I heard it, I was like, "How old is this?
Yeah,
Like, what is this?"
Have you ever seen, what is that movie? Flashdance. The only reason is because my wife loves it, so I've seen it a couple times, or slept through it. But it sounds like that Maniac song that she dances to and pours water on herself.
I actually haven't seen it.
Well, all you got to type in is Flashdance Maniac, and or
I'll get what I'm looking for.
Yeah, when Tommy Boy is getting rinsed off at the gas station, he's singing the same song.
Oh. Yeah, I do know what song you're talking about now, and I was just gonna sing it, but I'm not going to. Sorry.
Yeah, I hoped you would. I was hoping Chocolate would chime in and save me there, but he just let me struggle.
Just when there's nothing. No, I haven't heard it, so I've got no idea.
Oh.
Wow.
What song
Okay.
was that gonna be?
That was Flashdance from the 80s.
Oh, that's
Oh, what a feeling. Bum,
That's
bum.
it. Yeah. Or
Here's believing. Bum, bum. Right, we'll stop there.
Maniac.
Maniac.
There you go, Bear.
On
That's
the
what we're looking
floor.
for.
you guys are so old. Stop it.
We just have old parents that make us watch terrible 80s movies.
Oh,
Right, Bear?
I worked in a bar, and it was just like 70s, 80s,
yeah, the
70s,
theme.
60s music. Yeah,
So you
love
were
it.
just right at home. I got you.
I love it. Love it. In my heart. 80s forever.
So, like I said, Drake and The Weeknd are what's hot right now. Movies out then. Go ahead, Zach. what were
I
you
was gonna say, so the Drake thing hasn't really changed. He's
Dude,
just
I-
been a superstar forever.
I know. I want to say it's low key, but it probably isn't. But he's just been on top of the charts. Like he said, he's got more number ones than the Beatles at this point, which is insane.
Weird.
No way.
Yes. That's why he says he has more slaps than the Beatles, Bear.
What?
This thing slaps. Let's keep going.
All right. Up next, the hot movies that were out: Solo, A Star Wars Story, Deadpool 2, and Avengers: Infinity War. And now, it's kind of weird
Awkward.
because there's no movies out except for at home. So Trolls World Tour, Big Time Adolescence, which is that Pete Holmes. Is it Pete Holmes? The guy that dated Ariana Grande.
Yeah.
That movie on Netflix, and then Bad Boys for Life, which just came out on at home video. So that's a little bit of a weird comparison, but I had to put it out there just because of the strange times that we're in right now.
What that Pete Holmes movie, I'm pretty sure was filmed in Syracuse.
Oh, really? That's cool.
Some of it, at least. There's a bar, Shark or Shifty's, that's like a mile from my house, and there's some scenes from it there. He also said when he left Syracuse that it was like the biggest dump that he'd ever been to in his life. So Syracuse isn't a big fan of Pete Davis. I also tried listening to his stand-up the other day that was on Netflix.
It's not good.
It's awful.
It's
oh my
sad.
god.
It's just sad. It's not even funny. So I don't know. Check out Bert Kreischer,
Yeah, there
Tom
you go.
Segura. Dude, those two guys are funny. I
Bill
just started
Burr.
watching, Crystalia's last night, but I fell asleep.
Anyone that doesn't care what they're saying just to
Right.
be funny, not worried about offending people, those guys tend to be the funniest at this point to me.
Exactly. But speaking of Netflix, let's talk about TV. So back May 30th, 2018, the hot shows were, believe it or not, The Walking Dead, Game of Thrones, Westworld, and show I never watched, but 13 Reasons Why on Netflix. So that show about the girl that committed suicide. And
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think she mailed letters or tapes to 13 different people and told them that they had part in her killing herself.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. What a
Yeah.
uplifting movie or
Exactly.
TV
That's why I
show.
didn't watch it. I heard people talk about it. I'm like, not for me.
Well, Walking Dead still on,
Yeah,
still on,
it's
right?
on. I don't think
Westworld's
anybody's
still
watching
on.
it. Yes. But so right now, what I saw, Ozark season 3 seems to be real hot. A little show called Seto, which is supposed to be Narcos, but way better.
Yeah, there's only one show that's hot right now.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah, I'm getting to it, Bear. Just
Go on.
relax.
Good.
Run on HBO, which is supposed to be a comedy about two people that just like abandon their families and go back to their high school lovers. So it sounds like a funny one. And Love is Blind. I don't know who's not watching that other than myself right now on Netflix, where people date but don't see each other until they fall in love.
What?
Yeah.
What is happening?
And then my personal favorite show on TV right now is Dave. It's on Hulu and FX, and it's about Lil Dicky and how he became a rapper, and it's great. If you liked Entourage or shows kind of like that, that's what it kind of feels like to me.
Yeah, it's a funny one.
And then obviously the show Bear wants me to talk about, I think, is the one and only Joe Exotic and the Tiger King.
Yes.
Well,
Hey,
I
you
can
cool
say that
cats and kittens.
Exactly. You know Carol Baskin killed her husband.
Carol Baskin.
I think we should just start every podcast with that from now on. Hello, you
Hey,
cool
y'all.
cats and kittens.
She'll sue you for copyright infringement so quick, dude.
Oh,
She
do I have to edit
is
that out?
a witch. I'm not sure. She won't hear it.
Oh, phew. Thought she was a big fan.
So that's what I got as far as what was out then and now. But listening back to episode 1.
Oh god.
So who's this Doc guy?
Well, sit down, Sonny. I've
kidding.
got a story for you.
I'm kidding. Doc was one of the forefathers of Cross Atlantic Gaming, and without him, none of us would be right here. Correct?
Correct.
So
Yep.
thanks for everything, Doc. Like to see it every now and then, buddy.
He knew Battlefield and Sea of Thieves like nobody I knew.
Yeah.
And those weird,
initially-
obscure Steam games.
Yep.
So initially, you guys started this podcast to be just a news-based podcast and covered just the news, and I think it's kind of morphed since then, don't you? Because now I'm doing the news, so who knows if it's even accurate at this point?
We're like the Onion of video game podcasts.
Exactly. Yes. And then let's see. I thought this was crazy. You guys were talking about Blackout, and they were just talking about the concept of it, and Doc was saying about how the final circle is going to be nothing but kill streaks, and like you guys were all laughing, and it's going to be insane. And now we're at Warzone, and nothing but kill streaks in the final circle, and it's like, if you guys are prophets, if you only knew what you were saying.
That's too funny.
yeah,
And I'm sure
I
we
thought
said
that
it
was
was
cool.
a bad idea.
No, you guys are just like, this is going to be nuts. I have no idea how they're going to make this work.
And they did not.
And then Risky definitely didn't want kids then. So first episode, he's just like, I hear your struggles, Chocolate, and no thank you. I think I'll pass for life on that. And
Yeah,
I think you're still in the
nothing's
same boat,
changed.
right? I think we might have even
The struggle.
further concreted that that thought, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, the struggles were real at the beginning of the show. I think we were at least 20 episodes in, and I was always disappearing for a good half hour.
At least, yeah. That's
And then
Things were
Doc
better now.
finally had a baby and it broke him and he left the
You know.
podcast.
yeah. And I just had since 2017. Nope, I had one more kid. So
So yeah, I'm good. Who wants to bring a child up in the age of the COVID? I don't.
Well,
Well,
they
they'll
say
get
you're
a
either going to.
vaccine by the time your kid comes out, so I wouldn't worry about it.
I guess we'll see. 2 years
Well, I was-
later, or 100 episodes later, no thank you. Still.
So yeah, and last thing I wanted to say, Risky, you were playing God of War, which is probably one of your favorite games of all time still.
Yeah, buddy. Such a good
And
game.
Chocolate got stuck on Halo Wars 2 and decided to quit. So
No, yeah.
that sounds, it's pretty fitting for just
Yeah.
about every episode, right? Oh, I
Pretty
got
much.
stuck. Screw it, I'm done.
Yep, next.
Didn't you just beat Halo 2 though? Or is that Halo 1?
This
No,
was
Ha-
Halo Wars 2.
Halo
This was
Wars.
the,
Oh, gotcha.
This is when we were part of another crew.
yeah.
So you're still not all about RTS games?
Yeah, they can
Okay. Yes.
suck a fat one.
You just need a computer. You need a mouse and keyboard.
Well, there may be some news later on. Anyway,
Perfect. All right,
So
cool.
yeah, that's what I got for our retrospective. Doesn't seem like so far ago, but also it was almost 2 years ago. So
wow.
Yeah. Hey, thanks for that, dude. That's I don't know if I want to go back and listen to episode 1, but
it was weird because you guys dropped episode 1 and episode 2 on the same day.
that is weird. What a weird decision.
Hmm.
What were they? What? I don't understand.
I don't know. I think
I
you ran
don't
like
understand.
You guys ran like a test pod. And then
Yeah.
you're like, yeah, this is good, and then you recorded another one.
Okay.
later that
Straight
week, and
away.
then you just dropped them both.
Because we were so excited.
Because
I
it was
also,
so good.
yeah, I also vaguely remember that Risky wasn't editing the podcast then.
Oh no, somebody was, because that doc of your guys' had a filthy mouth. He dropped all sorts of cuss words that had to be bleeped and horned out.
Oh,
That's
no.
when we actually had the bike horn.
It was something else. It was a weird noise.
Yeah, no, I think that's when Doc was editing the show.
It was like
Ah.
a glitch noise or something like a.
Oh God.
So yeah,
Now we just don't swear. You're welcome.
we try our best.
And if we do, I usually just kind of erase it so you can't even tell it was there.
And if we don't, we find out about it at like 6 a.m. the day the podcast dropped. You guys left the F in there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was my bad. Okay, to be fair, I've been editing for 50-ish episodes now. That was one F word. Okay, I've done a pretty good job.
Right.
That was quite funny. That gained us a new listener. I vaguely remember someone on Twitter going, "Oh, I'm definitely listening to you guys now."
You guys are edgy. I remember having to wake up and re-edit that podcast like as quickly as I could and just re-upload. It was the first time I had to take to Twitter and apologize on behalf of a podcast, so that was fun. It's like,
Perfect.
to everyone that listened to Cross Atlantic Gaming episode 77 in their car with their children, I am so sorry.
Yeah. Oopsie. Oh, I wonder if that's on Twitch.
I'm pretty sure I'm the only person that listens to the podcast in the car with their children, and that's just on their request.
You got some good
let's
kids.
listen to your podcast. All right.
And that's why we will continue to be a family-friendly podcast.
Exactly. Actually, Rudy's playing Animal Crossing, doing my chores right now.
I love that. I love that you can do that. Like, all right, here is a set of oranges and some other fruits. I need you to go sell these. I need you to take my axe, go get me some wood, and then find the turnip lady and buy me 157 turnips. These are your chores.
No, dude, I just
Go.
told her, I was like, all right, you can dig up all the fossils, you can collect bugs, you can shake all the fruit, do everything you want, just sell everything. You're good.
Oh, there you go. That's one way to do it, I guess.
So hopefully
Way
I'll have
easier
another-
than strict instructions.
Right. Yeah. Hopefully I'll have another 50,000 bells in the bank here.
That's
when
what it
this
was.
podcast gets over.
Yeah, it was funny. Earlier, you were like, "Hey, you gotta buy," or we can talk about this in a little bit. Anyways, all right, Moose. Again, thank you for the retrospective and going back and listening. That's awesome.
You betcha.
Good stuff.
Thank you.
All right. The next thing we wanted to go over. Each one of us had one top gaming news story since May 30th, 2018. Just the coolest thing. I would say coolest, yeah. Or the story we enjoyed the most, I guess, since that day. So, Moose, we'll start with you. Give me one news story since Cross Atlantic Gaming started that was your favorite.
Well, I'm going to give you a week because
Yes.
it was right after the podcast started was E3, and I thought E3 2018 was one of the better ones, and it's probably be one of the last ones that we ever have. So, um, let's see. Microsoft showed 50 games. Let's see what else.
which is a ton.
Yeah, they also unveiled their xCloud information, which was kind of showing their innovation and what they're looking for in the future.
And now that's like a thing that works
Everybody's trying to do.
very well.
Assassin's Creed Odyssey got their release date, which is maybe one of my most favorite games of all time. Um, just looking through E3, it was one of the better years that they had. And Doom Eternal was shown. It took them only, what, 3 years, 2 years to get that game out.
Yeah.
So I think that was, my biggest news, moments of the last 2 years was probably E3 2018, because 2019 was kind of rough. It didn't seem like there was a whole lot going on for it. And 2020 is even worse.
Well, yeah. 2020 is just going to be all online, I would assume.
Right.
Yeah.
It has to be
It's
at
more-
this point, right?
It's more like, that was the first time, because I was like a fanboy of video games, and I, took the time away from work to watch all the conferences and be in a live chat with people and talk about everything that's going on. And you know what I mean? It's the first time that I got like involved with video games and the industry and the culture and all that stuff. So that's what sticks out for me.
Yeah, I think after you watch your first E3 conference and you sit there for like 3 hours a day for like 4 days straight just watching video game presentations and nerdy people up on stage telling you about their games, you're kind of in after that.
Right. And I just
Like
bought the Xbox One X, so I was just like, what can I put on this thing?
Yeah, I think you're right though. That was the one where it felt every little briefing they did within that E3 was like bang game, massive news, and
Except for-
they just kept rolling it.
Yeah, except Sony. Sony was a little bit strange when they like picked up their whole audience and moved them from a church to a studio or something. Like had an intermission, made like panel people talk for 20 minutes while they reset the stage. But
Yeah, you could-
it was a Last of Us 2 introduction too. So
Right. You could really tell that they were struggling to,
Yeah, they were trying to
fill their
stretch.
time slot.
exactly, and then they didn't show up the next 2 years. So
Yeah. I mean, we're at a point where everybody should just be doing their own things, I think. It's kind of
absolutely.
Yeah,
And let IGN or one of the big media outlets host a big
stream and talk about
online
them all.
type deal. Exactly.
Yeah, definitely. Cool. Chocolate, how about you?
for me, I'm gonna go big with my first one. I think Apex stealth dropping. That is the biggest news.
That makes sense. I think
Story changed my life and changed my outlook on games. Yeah, it was a massive, completely unheard of for. I can't remember what day it was. From nothing, no rumors, no whispers, to there you go, boys. There's a game. Off you go.
yeah, it was it's the first time you'd really seen anyone do anything like that. Like no pregame hype or just anything to, hey, what are all these giant streamers playing? Even if we found out later that they were all paid, but still, it's like, here's the game. It's the best. Like, I don't know. Do you think it's good that there was no like hype or build up, or do you think the hype was all just there when it dropped, I guess?
I'm trying to remember Fortnite's release, and obviously it had. Oh,
Fortnite
God.
rushed their release and just dropped it.
Well,
because
they
were
had,
in the
like,
beginning
the-
of PUBG.
Well,
The
they had
Save
the
the
thing
World
beforehand.
first.
Yeah, save.
Right.
It was Save the World.
It's like
and you could
horde
farm.
mode.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
you
don't
could
even know if you
farm
can
your
still
bits.
play that. That's what
Oh, God
I
knows.
paid money for that game.
Ooh, ouch.
Isn't that what we all
Bought the
paid money
Founders
for?
Pack. Yeah, I bought the Founders Pack. It was like $30.
Yeah. So I can't remember if they had some hype or some kind of like pre-promo stuff for their battle royale, but just dropping a game and having the confidence to go, there it is, play it, Okay, yes, they had help from streamers and paying Ninja $1 million to play it helps. But yeah, that's just unbelievable. I don't think I would love people who had that much confidence in a game to go, especially a free game. Okay, yes, they're going to make money over time, skins, etc., etc. But could you imagine releasing a $60 game going, it's out tomorrow?
Well, it's also like it was a good like Respawn was behind it, so that's the Titanfall people. So
Yeah,
you kind of you had that big name behind it as well, and I think that helped a lot. Like if it wasn't a well-known studio, maybe it wouldn't have been
Possibly,
as
yeah.
successful, and you might not have been able to sign those streamers to stream your game because you wouldn't
True.
have the funds.
Well, they
But
had the EA money behind them, though, didn't they?
true,
I,
yeah, yeah.
I think it killed or delayed Titanfall 3, which is a little bit upsetting to myself.
Yes, but then I suppose, put them in good stead for Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order.
Yeah.
Whether they were showing that on in the back burner to get to work on Jedi Fallen Order. Yeah, I don't know. I loved it. Like I said, it changed.
Yeah, you think we'd see more of that, and that even kind of going on something current like Warzone, that I think could have been the perfect like stealth drop, but it got leaked, and then they just Infinity Ward didn't want to talk about it, and it just kind of
Right.
went on and on and on to the point of any hype that was there was kind of dead by the time it came out. But then obviously once people got their hands on it, everything's fine. But
Yeah, it's everybody's favorite battle royale, I think, still right now.
yeah, well,
Eh,
some people.
Well, other than chocolate, I guess, huh?
But no, I mean, Warzone's always going to cater to the masses, and the Call of Duty
Yeah, right.
people, isn't it? It's good. It's just that for me, it's something I still can't grasp. And to be fair, I should play it a lot more. I haven't put enough time into it.
I mean,
And
once
with a
you're
squad,
good at something though, like once you get
Right.
decent at Apex, like for example, my brother is a big Call of Duty player, and he will still play Blackout over Warzone just because he's good and knows
Right.
knows Blackout at this point, and you obviously have more fun
Mate.
winning, and Warzone
Well,
wins
yeah.
are tough to come by. So
Yeah.
of course,
I looked at my stats. I think I have 11 total.
in
yep.
Warzone.
Yeah, in Warzone.
Oh,
It's
what are you at, Risky?
These are the 20s.
No, I'm almost at 40, I think now.
Oh,
Ugh.
jeez,
I was at like 35 last I looked, but
big player, big player.
Well, when you've got
Got a good
Risky
squad.
and yeah, I was gonna say Dan and Shopa and Risky all in one group. It doesn't really matter who the fourth is. How many wins does Megan have right now?
Probably like 15 or something.
Jesus. See, I think I have about 5 not with you guys, so I can be proud of that.
Yeah, I've got like a days where I think Ronan is the second one under me in my playtime, and I still have like 24 hours on him.
That's Chris.
Well, it's just it's because we've talked about this before. It's because I got too many damn people to play with. So it's like
You
whenever
have no
somebody
kids.
needs someone, I'm just like, okay,
Right.
here I come, and I don't mind playing. Obviously, I love that stuff to death.
Yeah, you have no kids. You have a fiance that works 12-hour shifts and sleeps the other 12-hour shifts when
Yeah.
she's working. So
I'm barely
Got some
working
time.
now because of the COVID.
right,
So
just got time.
A perfect hurricane of circumstances.
I can't wait till you have a kid. Oh,
You should have more than one, like 3.
yeah. Oh, I hope you get triplets.
This is the
That is
oh
my gift.
my god.
Dude, my buddy had twins, and they're gonna have another kid. They'll have 4 of them.
Oh.
Like, what are you doing?
Oh, ouch.
You done messed up.
But he's chill. He likes his minivan. He's like, it's cool, dude. It's got a good sound system. It's safe. I'm like, okay.
All right, bro.
Enjoy your Pacifica, bruh.
Awesome. All right. My favorite gaming news story over the last 2 years is probably the split between Bungie and Activision. That was huge news for Destiny, which is kind of sad because I haven't really touched Destiny this season. I blame it mostly
Bad season.
mostly on Warzone, but also this new season just isn't that great, and the season
It's
before
all-
it was like
yeah.
was okay.
Right.
So they need to do something. We need Destiny 3 or a new giant expansion.
Yeah, it
So
needs new content because this last chapter or this last season was nothing but multiplayer. Like literally, that's all it was trials, right?
trial and yeah, and then you had some public event stuff, which isn't all that exciting.
Right.
So if you weren't into trials and the multiplayer stuff, it was it's kind of a flop. But as far as them becoming independent from a giant publisher, I think it's really good for them in a lot of ways. They have way more creative freedom as to how they want the game to run and work, and like their models as far as what they want to do with seasons or what they want to do with game releases, that kind of stuff. The part that sucks though, and you can see it, is that they don't have the backing from a giant publisher financially. They don't have the extra studios that Activision was giving them to work on giant expansions. So that stuff kind of sucks. But overall, their freedom, it was such big news, dude. These are the people that made Halo, and the people that made Halo were going on to make this Destiny game, and then Activision bought them and, well, published for them. And now you just kind of got back to a place where it's just Bungie doing its own thing for Destiny, which I think is cool. But I do think they have a lot to prove, especially with someone like me who's got thousands of hours in this franchise. And I'm not currently playing it right now.
Right.
And
Me
even
either.
a lot of the biggest like Glad is one of the biggest streamers. He had the highest Twitch subs when that whole like Destiny puzzle thing was going on with the corridors and all that. He
And then
broke.
what was it? It was like a banner or some stupid crap.
Yeah, well, and you got a weapon that they'd already told you was coming early, like a couple weeks early or something. It was really bad. But yeah, so this dude who had the highest amount of Twitch subs at one point when this was all going on is now not playing Destiny. Like, he's always been a Destiny streamer and that's been his life, but this last season I think just kind of broke him down, and now he's playing like Final Fantasy and Resident Evil, like some Destiny still, but it's kind of, I don't know. They need to work some stuff out. So it's good of a news story. It was just huge news for me, I guess, because that was a game that I've played so much and has impacted me so much as far as friends and just monumental things in gaming for me.
Right. Well, yeah, and it helps, with the development of Destiny 3 also, hopefully, it gives them the freedom to do what they want without having Activision having their 2 cents in and having to, have their creative 2 cents as well. You know what I mean?
Right. And like being optimistic and best case scenario, in my opinion, is the reason that things are lacking right now is because something down the road is about to be amazing, like Destiny 3 or like their next big piece of DLC. Because when I hopped back in, it was Shadowkeep. And when Shadowkeep was going on, that was awesome. There was so much stuff to do. There's so much content.
Yeah, Tangled Shore is awesome.
Yeah, and I was playing all the time, and now it's just kind of you get these seasonal seasons or whatever, and it's, I don't know.
It just kind of feels like the game is at its end of life, and
Right, like
if they're not going to have any more new content or introduce anything new to it. They should just work on keep supporting it with events and things, but work on releasing the new game.
New console coming out. I think that's maybe
that could be, yeah, that's another thing is if it is like Destiny 3 is going to be on next gen, it's like they have to wait for next gen to get here. So if they're quietly going 90% assets and thrown into that, and that's why we're getting these smaller, not so great seasons, like that's cool. But you just need to know what you're getting yourself into. Like, don't get hyped anymore for seasons.
Yeah, it just feels like a cash grab at some point. When they get you all hyped for that first season, they're like, buy all 3 seasons now, and then you do it, and then it's just like, okay, now
season passes. I'll get you every time.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's definitely a news story that impacted me most. So, yeah. All
I'm
right.
excited to see what June brings. Because I think we're gonna see a lot of people showing their cards come for new console and launch stuff.
Right, like that time where we should be doing E3 stuff, but we're not doing E3 stuff.
I have a feeling like this E3 was supposed to be more like 2018's was showing a bunch of new titles and new IPs, things like that. and unfortunately they had to shut it down. But I'm looking forward to seeing whatever they're coming up with for the time slots that they had.
I'm hoping the production value is going to be a lot better as well.
Well,
Yeah.
they're saving a lot of money not renting theaters and
Well,
spaces and booths, and so
true, but there's only so much if everyone else's Wi-Fi, like
yeah,
inside Xbox, what they did and what they
yeah,
had, they did a great job. But if they're going to push, which I
yeah.
suppose it's going to be an inside Xbox, isn't it?
It'll be something like that. But I agree with you, Bear, if you're saying that you don't care to see the inside of anybody else's house that's a media personality.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
Anybody
not.
else's, because I've seen every news anchor, I've seen every sports figure, I've seen every every
Yeah,
person on Xbox, inside Xbox, all these places. Like that's the only thing they can do at this point. But I understand what you're saying. I hope the
yeah,
production value is there.
yeah, definitely, definitely. Have you noticed? So over here, everybody's got AirPods. Whenever they're on an interview, you can see
Oh
they've got their
yeah,
laptop. You can
yep.
just about see up their nose. They've all got their AirPods in. You're just like,
I was
you
wondering,
look.
like, is that a good quality microphone? Or, but my wife said the microphone's trash on hers, and she has the pros. So
I
I
would
don't know.
assume those are just their headphones. Their actual mics might be coming,
From the whatever their source is.
yeah, from either like their. Well, I don't know if a laptop mic is much better. Like I don't know if they have.
Right.
Yeah, I guess I have no idea.
Well, unless they've
So I'm
gone and
assuming that they just link Bluetooth, to their AirPods, and they're using that for everything. But they
yeah,
sound good to me.
they seem all right. Unless they've gone to Amazon and done. I bet if you look now for a
The
microphone,
knockoffs.
yeah, all the microphones are gone. Well, no, I was going to say all the microphones gone. They've got all
Can't
the
find a
cameras.
camera. Can't find a microphone.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. A couple of YouTubers I watch when they talk about streaming. Funny enough, he said when I think it was he did a review on the Logitech camera, and he said all of a sudden that video has spiked during COVID. And he said it's got to be because people, as they're doing their meetings, their Zoom calls, etc.,
Yep.
etc., they're trying to get the best settings so they don't look like trash.
Yeah,
And
or
that's the
there's
thing
just
too is
people who have always like wanted to dabble in streaming but have never thought they had time, and like they may have just gotten
right.
laid off or something. Like, hey, now might be the perfect time to try to like hit this super hard, and when things finally turn around, it might have some type of
Traction.
fan base.
Right.
Yeah, some type
Yeah.
of traction. So
Well, yeah, I think it's also that people are converting to work at home. So the logistics guy at the office just went out and bought 50 cameras.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
Just so that
definitely.
everybody in the office has one, so that they can work and Zoom and do whatever they got to do.
yeah. Oh God.
Weird,
So-
weird times.
Yeah, the weirdest things you'd think you wouldn't be able to find at the store, like webcams and toilet paper.
Webcams. Oh, weird. What a weird combination of things.
As long as they're not using them both.
Don't
at the
ever
same
use
time.
those together. Exactly.
All right, our last little episode 100 thing we wanted to do here is
Little?
well, big. Sorry, this
Yeah, buddy.
this humongous next thing
Oh,
is
I'm excited. And
our
I can't even win.
Wait, what? You can't
Oh,
win
sorry.
what?
I thought you were doing the drawing.
No, that's later. We have one more
Okay.
thing.
God damn it.
Ruin everything.
Um,
That's right. We can edit it out. It's not live.
Nope. It's all live now from here on out. No, I'm not even gonna edit anymore. I'm just gonna publish as soon as it's done. We'll be good.
Perfect.
Oh, dear.
All right, so this next thing we're gonna do is our top 5 games in no order since May 30th, 2018. Do you just want to do one at a time, or you want just everybody to go through their lists, or how do you want to do it?
Let's
It
go one
depends.
at a time in case we have any overlappers.
All right, let's do it. Chocolate, we'll start with you.
Most of my games are recent, so I apologise. There was nothing that grabbed me and stuck in my head. So, not my first one, but the first one I'm going to tell you is Katana Zero on the Switch. Oh, that was a great game.
Not Gunman
was.
Clive.
So, I've got a funny feeling that probably released before the podcast dropped. So I'm sticking with the rules that I made
I like it.
very loosely.
Yeah, and he hasn't finished Gunman Clive 2 yet, so that one
Exactly.
doesn't qualify either.
Yeah, I didn't want you to mention
Fair.
Gunman Clive too.
I didn't mention it. That was
that was in
Rocker in
chat.
chat.
Thanks for keeping us straight, Rocker.
God damn
He
it.
just gets it. Yeah, Katana Zero, man. What a fun little 2D chop off their heads game.
Oh, watching it on the direct, it was the one game as I was watching, I had to pause to look and check the name, see when it was out, because it just the aesthetics of the game just jumped and called me, and I was like, yes, this is it. And we all picked that up, didn't we?
And
And we all finished it.
we all loved it as far as I
Yep.
know.
It was
Finished
an
it
awesome
and
game.
loved it.
Yeah, brilliant, brilliant little game. So yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it had the perfect little stages where when you finally beat a stage, you beat it in like 20 seconds, but getting to that part
Right.
and the trial and error to go through like kicking or what you had like the dodge, you could slow down time, you
You
So
could
then
throw things.
you could chop as they threw something at you. You could couldn't you
Yeah,
slice it
swing-
back at
yeah.
them?
Yep.
yeah, you could hit the
And
bullets back at
deflect
him.
things back.
Yeah, that was it. And then you got to see that on a video replay after you finished the level.
Oh yeah, like
sped up.
security
Oh yeah,
footage.
so cool.
Yeah.
So
You
so
like-
cool.
You kill like 6 guys in the matter of 14 seconds, and then it shows you a replay of everything you did.
Yeah. That yeah, for sure. That was it didn't make my list, but it's that's right up there. It's one of the best 2D action platformers at least. If not the best. So, yeah, that's a good one. I like it.
Thank you.
Moose, what do you got?
Well, since you told me I can't use God of War since it came out right before,
I said you do whatever you want.
I know, but I'll go with another action platformer that we all played on the Switch, and 2 out of 3 of us finished The Messenger. So
Ew.
awesome too.
And some of
Really
us are
hard,
still
though.
trying to chip away at the DLC.
Guys, I got stuck on it
Downloaded it.
and
You
I
got
just
stuck on it, and then
I
you quit,
couldn't do
right?
it. Yep.
I got stuck on
We
it
get it.
and then I quit.
And then I'm done.
I like it. Yeah, this is it's kind of just in the same vein as Katana Zero for me. It's just
Yeah, it definitely doesn't have that time mechanic, but it's definitely super difficult platforming, and it's a Metroidvania because when you get different powers or abilities, then it definitely unlocks different parts of the map. But
Yeah.
this one is really cool because it switches between 8-bit and 16-bit, and the music changes as well. So it's like you're like time traveling.
yeah, it's the music changes, the graphics obviously change. It's so
Yeah.
good.
It's awesome. It goes from like a classic, what do they call it? Just a classic platformer to a Metroidvania game. Like halfway through, it completely changes the type of game it is.
Yeah.
It's
So it's a cool mechanic that I'd never played in a game before, and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, another good one for sure. All right, so mine is kind of weird because, as you know, Call of Duty did not make my top games of 2019 because there was no battle royale. But since then, Warzone has come out, and I'm gonna put Warzone as a standalone thing because technically it is. Warzone is a standalone product at this point, but my list wouldn't be honest if this wasn't on here somewhere. So
It stands alone on my list too, Risky.
I love it. Yeah, I don't know. It's the perfect battle royale for me. Like Blackout was getting there because it was Call of Duty mechanics. It wasn't janky like PUBG. It's a lot more grounded than something like Apex or Fortnite. And this just nails it on all front. Like the realism, I think, is what does it for me, and the Call of Duty mechanics, like the gunplay
Right.
of this battle royale, just is the icing on the top.
I got my my first bait car kill the other day. So much fun.
How'd it go?
You plant the C4. I planted it on the dune buggy.
Oh, waited for somebody to go to it.
Yep. And as soon as I saw somebody get in, and I was like, guys, somebody's on the car. Someone's on the car. Double tap that right trigger or that right bumper, and boom, squad wipe, triple kill.
Oh God, I
son
love
of
it.
a.
It's so good. It's so
fun.
dirty, but it's so good.
Yeah. And now Art started to leave it on the helicopter because we've had our helicopter jacked a couple times. So
Yeah, might
that's
as well
what
throw it on
makes
there.
us- Yeah, got to put the club on that bird.
There you go. That's yeah, but Warzone just it nails it. I think it still has some work to be done. I'm not a huge fans of everything, but overall, I can't ask for much more for out of a battle royale, which is definitely one of my top genres of multiplayer games, if not my top genre by far. So
Just a little tip: if you're not playing crossplay with PC guys, turn it off because those guys are cheating mofo's right now.
Yeah,
I think you can only turn it off on PlayStation though.
Oh, you can't turn it off on Xbox?
Yeah, it's only a PlayStation thing, which is another huge thing that
Guess
is
I'll be
awful.
playing on PlayStation
oh wow.
Should be. Yep.
with nobody.
I was on playing Final Fantasy the other day, oddly enough, and saw that Mere Designations was actually playing Warzone on his PlayStation.
Yeah, I
So
don't
there you
think
go.
he has an Xbox.
I think he does. I just think it's an OG Xbox that Ladonian
Oh, yeah.
handed
It
down to him or
chugs.
something.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
Good stuff. All right, so we'll go back to chocolate.
So you mentioned Warzone. Warzone isn't on my list. However, the main campaign of Call of Duty Modern Warfare is.
Lit. It slaps.
It.
That's right.
Oh, the story was beautiful. It slapped me in places that I've never been slapped before.
I think you say Liddy now.
Liddy. Oh, is it Liddy?
Well, Moose, you keep changing the word every week.
Hey, all I do is watch Justin Bieber's YouTube, so
Oh, what's it? He's got
Oh.
a YouTube? I need to go sub to that.
dude, he's got a YouTube series.
Oh, jeez.
That was quite honest. I appreciate that. I don't think I would have come out and said that live on a podcast.
It was a joke, but that's fine.
I'm not sure anymore.
I know. Who knows? My life is a joke.
Fair enough. Yeah, back to Modern Warfare, though, the campaign at least.
Yeah, campaign. I think it was the true transition between a video game to movie type style script. Yeah, amazing. Completely enthralled me, took me in, loved every second of it. And yeah, if this isn't on people's lists,
I'll finish it someday.
I was gonna say,
yeah.
Chocolate. That might be a game that you have finished that Risky hasn't.
True. True. You need to finish it. Yeah,
And I'm just, bridging all gaps here. I beat that one too. So
Oh, good man,
I'm the
Moose.
one that keeps us all together.
Thank you.
You are the glue.
Appreciate it. The glue. All right, cool. Call of Duty, definitely down with that. Moose, what do you got next?
Oh, I just turned the page to go to the notes and I wrote it on the other one. I'm terrible. Let's see. Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, which is number 1 on my list, although we're not
It's pretty
numbering
awesome.
them. But Spider-Man,
I have all the DLC to play, but I tried to do it a little while back and I forgot all the buttons and I just got my butt kicked. So yeah.
you spend 30 hours perfecting how Spider-Man
Right.
works and all of his moves, and then you try 6 months later and you're like, uh-oh, Spider-Man's
Yeah.
broken.
How do you do that?
Or your brain's broken, one or the other.
Both. I can attest for both. But yeah, Chocolate, when you get that PlayStation,
I
definitely
need to.
get Spider-Man because it's like $20 now and it's a do not miss title.
I am just so jealous and so upset that they've got the exclusive on it, and the fact that the
Right.
developer is so cool. I loved their Sunset Overdrive.
Yeah, and they just locked them down too. So
Yeah, that hurts me inside because they were cool. They seemed like they were going to be a really cool kind of. I don't want to say up and coming is the wrong word, but like hip developer.
yeah,
But yeah, son of a.
I'm excited for the sequel. Hopefully, we'll see some of that coming up this summer too.
Yeah, I hope so. But as far as Spider-Man goes, it's easily been probably my favorite game out of these last 2 years.
It's the best superhero game out, I think, and I know some
100%.
people argue that the Arkham series is really good too. But I think this just made the it's
It improved upon the Arkham
Exactly.
formula,
That's
in
the word I
my
was looking
opinion.
for.
Yeah, I got you.
Exactly.
Uh,
I appreciate you.
and like Spider-Man is just the most lovable, like perfect superhero, like Peter Parker is
Such
as
a
well.
dork.
Yeah, he's super relatable, especially for other nerds like us, or like and he's one of the younger superheroes too, so like he has that whole like high school like drama side. He just has a ton of
Right.
different sides to him, and that's before you even put a suit on him and then make him swing around the city, which is the most fun thing to do in video games. So
Yeah, and some of those fights, when you got to fight Rhino and the guy that flies at the same time,
yep.
that's probably my favorite fight of the game.
The Kingpin fight was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that just makes me want to go back and play it. I could probably start that over and be completely happy. Like, I don't play a lot of games twice, but that might be one where it's like worth going back to, and that especially if you go straight into the DLC.
Yeah.
Because then you'd know how to play the game still.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So I'll get back into it at some point.
Yeah, Spider-Man's fantastic, though. Just a perfect culmination of just superheroes and video game stuff, just all thrown into one. Just, it's so good.
Yeah. Gets me excited for the Avengers game that Square's making right now.
For sure.
Oh, Spider-Man.
Get you that PlayStation, Bear.
Yeah, well,
real soon. Actually, they're probably gonna be expensive because people's PlayStation 5s are gonna melt. And they're gonna be looking for it more.
yeah, everyone trade it in and go back a step.
Yeah. Give it back.
All right, another one on my list. I had Control
Okay.
Ooh.
from 2018 or is that this year? It's 2019.
2019.
2019.
Yeah, this year.
Control was made by the Quantum Break people, who I can't think of their name right now, but it was just a super
Remedy.
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 Something Remedy, isn't it?
It's just Remedy.
Yep, perfect. So, Control is just a super weird, a lot like Quantum Break, a super weird third-person action game that you had this chick who's trying to discover what this Federal Bureau of, I'm going to completely forget what it was actually called. Do you remember what it was called?
Control.
Bureau of Control.
Yeah. And it was her brother that got taken by them, right?
Yeah, so she went to the building to figure it all out, and that's when she walks into the building, and then it's just this ever-changing landscape within this
and
one
she finds the magic gun
building.
and chooses
Yeah,
her, like the hat in Harry Potter.
exactly. And it's this gun, which, as far as gameplay goes, it can change into a bunch of different types of gun, and then you've got powers like Magneto, where you can throw stuff at people or warp around, and the gameplay itself was a ton of fun. It improved on, in my opinion, I thought a lot of the I would call them force powers here were better than Fallen, because I had just played Fallen Order right before this, and I thought the movement and the actual actions were better in Control than Fallen Order.
I agree,
and they were still good in Fallen Order. So there was that, and
I
then
still
just
have to play Control, and Control is scary because there's
it is
if you've
spooky.
ever played Senua's Sacrifice, Hellblade. There's all those voices all over in the background. Well, this is robot voices. So,
Definitely still a thing. Yep.
Yeah, it freaked me out. I woke up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning on accident one day, and I was like, let's throw some headphones on and check this game out for a little bit. And I was freaked out by the time everyone else woke up. So, did you guys hear that? Anybody else hear that?
No, just me. Okay, we're fine.
I think I heard those robot voices the rest of the day.
We're fine. Control. It was just a lot of fun. Perfect. Definitely my type of game, like third-person action games. Always a big fan of those. Had an intriguing story, and the gameplay was a ton of fun. So, not much more to ask for there.
Yep, and I think it was up for Game of the Year for a lot of different award shows too.
Yeah, as it should have been.
Yeah.
I like it. All right, Chocolate, what do you got?
I have got. Well, we were talking about Spider-Man earlier, and my one is Jedi Fallen Order.
Hey, that's also on my list.
Nice.
Yes, that game was the Star Wars game we needed, wanted, and I just loved it, and loved it. Mechanics were great. There was a cameo by Spider-Man. You had to be very quick to see him.
I remember Moose posting that. And I was like, what did I just watch?
Yeah.
And then he gave me the timestamp, and I was like, oh.
Yeah, you see
That's Spider-Man?
a quick.
Like,
Yeah,
what
you
is
see
he
a quick
doing there?
flicker. It's really
it's
cool
literally
touch.
like 3 frames.
Yeah,
He just crawls around like the backside of a cave cliff, and that's it.
yeah, that's and that was it. Murder She Wrote. But yeah, the game was fantastic. Storyline was brilliant. The Wookiees looked cheap and nasty, but
They looked like just tall mops, tall,
They all
skinny,
look
slender
hairy.
man
They
mops.
all look like they were wet all the
Yep.
time.
Yeah,
Just like shaggy dogs.
they look bad, but yeah, that it was just brilliant. The game was unreal. Funny story: my brother has just finished it and completely took a massive, huge dump on it. He said it was dreadful.
What?
Yeah, I know.
Does he
You should
hate
get a new
fun?
brother. Yeah, you should
No,
get a new brother.
well, I might do. I might have to. He said to me, "Oh, I found it for $30. I want to pick it up because he lives over in San Diego." And I said, "Oh, brilliant! Yeah, get it. It's an excellent game." Got it, played it, and turned around to me and went, "Wasn't worth $30." I was like, "Okay, you're an idiot."
Get a new brother for sure. 'Cause,
Definitely.
I wonder
it's
what
worth
did he?
$30 alone just for BD1, the best droid ever in any Star Wars thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. What didn't he like about it? That's strange.
I, d- I don't know.
He
I
just stopped
don't
the
know.
conversation. He just hung up the phone. You're like, nope, we're done.
Yeah, I was like, "You're an idiot."
Disowned you.
Well, yeah, and we've got the time, obviously the time difference, so we don't get a kind of a good crossover, a lap in having a good chat about it. But
Right.
I don't know. He likes Star Wars. He loves Star Wars. I don't know how he doesn't like that game, but he
Well-
has been hitting all kind of PlayStation's big single player experiences. So if he's just come off the back of potentially Last of Us 2 or something, I don't know. Yeah, I don't
Weirdo.
know. Yeah,
was-
exactly.
I was
He's
gonna
got
say maybe
dropped.
he's like a big Star Wars nerd and he didn't like something about it, but like I'm a big Star Wars nerd and I thought the whole like finding that holocron and like saving the next generation of Jedi, like it was a pretty awesome.
awesome.
It was a good story, like
Yeah,
not even a
fits into the
controversial
canon.
one, like
Right.
by any means. So
And
No, I mean, I said to him I said, be wary. The combat system is this type of combat system. It is block,
it's tough,
dodge,
yeah, like
roll.
Dark Soulsy.
Yeah,
For sure.
But oh yeah, he like I said, he got dropped on his head when he was a child
by his brother.
by his brother. um, trust me, I was not happy when he was born. Yeah, so
Wow.
Jesus.
that's episode 100. Let's get a little deep.
Yeah, apparently. All right, Moose. What do you got?
One of my favorite games of all time, Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Whoa.
You guys need to play this game because it's.
I gotta get it
so
back from my
good.
brother.
Yeah, speaking of brothers, huh? Dude, I spent well over 100 hours in this game and did not feel bored at any time.
That's awesome because that's another. It's one of those Ubisoft games where there's 8,000 different things on your map.
Right. Dude, it's islands and islands. Like, there's still, I beat the game, and there's probably still 50 hours of just island exploring and looking for treasures and fighting mythic beasts, and it's insane, dude. And I still have all the DLC, which, like, I guess there's one that's supposed to be really good. That's Atlantis.
Oh,
So,
cool.
Yeah. So I want to get back into it, but I don't know when I'm going to do that.
I need to start a single player campaign, and I
Try
don't
it.
know whether I want to lose 80 hours into an Assassin's Creed.
I think
game.
you want to buy a PlayStation.
Yeah. But,
I
dude,
think
if
my wife
could-
will kill me.
If I could suggest any Assassin's Creed game, it'd be Odyssey, because
Yeah, is it?
it's amazing.
Origins
Does
is
it
so
drop
good
out?
too, so I don't know why I haven't tried this yet. Like I loved Origins, so
Probably because you got a physical copy of it. It just made you feel yucky.
yeah, I was like, oh, I've got to put this into the Xbox. Ugh,
Ew.
no, thank you. Too funny.
No, there was other stuff coming out at that time. So I know I didn't buy it at launch, and then I bought it for like spring sale the next year because I think it was a fall title, right?
Yeah, I think
And
yeah.
So, and then I just started playing it, and it became like my Saturday or Sunday afternoon game, and I just crank out 3 or 4 hours on the weekends while my kids are either napping or playing outside or whatever. I usually get a nice little chunk, kind of like this afternoon when we're recording. But and you know, I just plugged away at it, and the storyline is so awesome. There's like 3 different endings in the game. You think you can beat the storyline, and then you beat there's all these other beast quests that you have to beat, and then there's like 3 different stories. It's weird to explain, but if you've beaten it, you know what I'm talking about.
Gotcha.
So just keep going. It's a great game. It's one of my faves.
And yeah, so like I had a hard copy, like we said, so I must not have gotten it when it came out. Otherwise, I wouldn't have bought a hard copy. So I must have found it cheap at some point. So I wonder, like you said, something had to have been coming out where I knew I wasn't going to get to it.
Yeah, it was right around the time, when the Call of Duty and the Battlefields, all those get dropped, and I was like, it's single player. It'll always be there.
So
So,
Was Red Dead out?
yeah, I think it was right
I
around that time
think
too.
Red Dead was like October,
Or the next week, something like that.
something close, where I knew I was
Yeah.
not beating 200
Yeah.
hour games back
This
to
one
back.
was like end of October, and then like I think Red Dead was like the first week or second week of November.
Gotcha.
I'm trying to think. Well, I think that was the 7 weeks where it was
It was
big
huge,
game, a
yeah.
break. I think we had a 2 week break, and then it was like big game,
Yeah,
and
it
it
was
just kind of
Black
just
Ops
kept
4,
going.
Battlefield 5, Red Dead 2, Assassin's Creed.
Just
Yeah, that was
all the heavy
yeah.
hitters.
right. Plus we had Spider-Man dropping that fall at some point too.
Right.
So
Well, speaking of Red Dead, that's the last game on my
Ooh.
list that I haven't covered or somebody hasn't covered for me. Red Dead Redemption 2 is also on my list. Once you got past the stupid horse riding, which
Yeah.
I know everybody hates.
and chapter 2. After chapter 2, it kind of seemed like it picked up quite a bit.
Well, yeah, and I think that was a big part, was that every chapter that you went on kind of got more intense and more intense, in my
Yep.
opinion. But even some of the more boring parts or slower parts, or just walking around camp, getting to know like your posse mates, it made like the finale or like the final third of the game just so much more impactful. Once you had kind of gotten to know everyone and their motives and their personalities, and then when the game is ending, it makes it way more intense and just really good. It was the perfect like Old West fantasy game. If you ever wanted to be a cowboy back in the day, there's not a better game that you could play. And I was mostly just hitting like story content, but if you're looking for just like old school cowboy simulator, you could play it that way. You could just be like a working man and just not progress the story and do whatever, like
Just
upgrade the
trapping,
camp.
fishing,
Yeah, and that's kind of what
hunting.
Red Dead Online is at this point,
Yeah.
which I
I can't get into it.
couldn't get into it at all.
No.
But
yeah, they have like rum runners and stuff now.
yeah,
like
different classes.
casino owners and all sorts of stuff.
Strange, but yeah, Red Dead, it was amazing. It was acted well, it was written super well. The music in it was fantastic, it looked great. There's not a lot of negatives to throw at that game besides, yes, you had to spend a lot of time riding on a horse. Sure.
Yeah. The only downfall for me, I beat it, and I did finally do the epilogue and all that stuff too, or was it prologue or epilogue, and I would just say it was just a little bit too simmy for me.
Okay, yeah, and I
So
think that's fair.
I enjoy GTA's, craziness over the 30-minute horse ride across the map.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'd rather hop in my DeLorean that can fly.
Exactly.
Get
Or
across
ride
the
a
map that way.
rocket motorcycle.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't know. Red Dead, it's amazing though. If you haven't played it,
Yes,
it's cheap now.
definitely.
Go out and get it, especially if you got 100 hours on your.
I was gonna say be ready for an 80-hour game though.
Yeah, at least.
What else are you gonna do?
Yeah, right. You got
Right.
nothing else to do. All right, that was it for me. Do you guys have any games left on your list?
I have two, but I can just
Oh.
talk about one.
I got okay. You
I
guys
got
talked
one
about
left,
all
so
my
we can
games.
Go. You go first, Bear, and then I'll go, and then you go again. Then we'll get them all covered.
Oh.
Go
Okay.
chocolate.
Well, I'll get the obvious one out, as I am the Apex legend. There is only one game. Apex. My God, what a game!
It's
My-
your war zone.
It's my war zone. It's my mistress. It could potentially be my wife and children one day. I love the game. It's
It could be both?
absolutely- Yeah. Oh, hang on.
No, it's
Yeah.
cool. Just keep going.
No. Yeah. Let's not. Ooh. Yeah. Apex. Love it. It's my game. I can't talk highly enough of it. Just the movement, the guns. Now they had like a stumbling block for me over season 2, where I didn't think it was overly great, but it just seems that they've picked it up, ramped it up, and I love it. I just absolutely love it.
I was say, if anybody's been listening to the podcast the past 3 or 4 months, you know that this was going to be it. Like, you knew this was going to be on this list.
Yeah.
We know how much you love this
Right.
game for sure.
Yeah.
I just can't stop playing. I'm addicted.
I
I'm
know the
with it
feeling,
too,
Bear.
bro. I just can't convince anybody else to play it with me, so
Yeah.
I play Warzone.
There's the two of
Well,
you. Just find a
I
duos
know.
mode.
Yeah. Well, see,
well, there is a
now
geo.
I play with Art and Ben, and I'm like, you guys want to play Apex? They're like, nah, we're good with Warzone.
We're
Smart
good with
man.
our wins.
At least you hang out with smart guys.
Yeah.
I don't hang out
Well,
with anybody, but all these crazy ladies around here.
Just all ladies in the house.
Yeah. I always know where the ladies are at. They
Oh.
never go anywhere else.
Fair enough. But all right, good deal. Yeah, I had a lot of fun with Apex when it first came out. I just found a new love, and that happens sometimes. So,
yeah, sometimes.
all right,
okay.
Moose. What's the last thing on your list?
Division 2. I really enjoyed
Okay.
that game.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did I take it, Bear?
No, you didn't.
Oh,
You
okay.
didn't.
But yeah, I'd spent probably a good 60, 70, maybe even 80 hours in that game, plus the DLC that we just played through. And I guess they're having some issues right now, so I haven't touched it because they're doing a lot of changing in the game as far as changing the loadouts and changing nerfing and buffing things and everything I see. Everybody's not happy with it, so I haven't touched it since I beat the DLC. But I've got lots of manhunts to do still. It's one of those endless games. It's kind of like you can pick Destiny or Division 2, and I picked both.
Yeah.
So
And I mean, I was pretty into Division when it first came out, which I've said multiple times, and then I went on vacation.
right, and then you completely forgot about it, like it was a kid you never had.
Whoops.
Just dropped it off at the fire station, never saw it again.
Sad
No.
times. It's
Well,
a
great
deep
game.
cut.
Can always jump back in. It's a good time right now. Fun stuff.
I'm nodding my head
Oh, is that what I couldn't hear?
in
Sorry,
agreement.
couldn't hear
Here,
the
let
rattling.
me show the people.
So yeah, Div 2. It's a good game. If you didn't pick it up for whatever it was, $3, $2.
Oh, you guys were so lucky.
It
So
was-
lucky.
Right.
That's the thing. I have this now on my
On PC.
everything
Right.
because
We
it
might
was
as well
so
play
cheap.
it. Can work on our shooting skills in a PvE game,
Ooh.
Probably what I need to do.
right? And we could do the raid since we have the machines to do it now.
The cheater boxes.
Yeah, exactly. So it's sounding better and better to me the more I talk about it.
There you go.
No, there you go. You need to play it too.
I'm nodding my head again in agreement.
See, I can't hear the rocks rattling around inside, so
Oh, it's really funny. The speaking of how small my brain is, I was Skyping with my family and my brother the other night. Or they're using this thing called House Party or something. It's like a video app.
I've heard about this.
It's kind of like Zoom,
Yeah.
but it has built-in games. So they did a trivia game, and one of the questions was, how much does the average brain weigh? And it was like 5, 3, or 1, and I picked 1, and everybody else in my family picked 3. I was literally the only person. I was like, oh, I thought it asked, how much does my brain weigh? Sorry about that.
according to Jonathan Lipnicki and Jared McGuire, the human brain weighs 8.5 pounds.
Yeah, for those guys, maybe, not for me. Those are dense
Oh, yeah,
brains.
that's true. Yours is 1 pound.
Yes, exactly.
So yeah, Div 2. That's my last one.
All right. Bear, what do you got? Finish us off here.
Shocker with Gears 5.
Yeah, I forgot about that game.
I didn't
Yeah.
finish it.
I just forgot about it because I only played 2 chapters of it. 2 chapters.
Act 1, right? Yeah. That's I finished
You
Act 1, and then I think I played
terrible
it with
guys.
you, and then we never went back to it.
Chocolate's just way better at beating video games than I am.
I
Well,
was
so
on
is
a roll.
Moose. You both are. Good
I
good
think
work, guys.
I was on a run the back end of last year.
Yeah, you
I
were.
think I knocked out about 3 or 4 games in a few weeks. But yeah, I love the story campaign. Gears is Gears, that I'm not going to talk about how the mechanics of the game is, but
Roadie run! Woo!
yeah, and then I'll just shoot over a wall. But yeah, the storyline was beautiful. End boss was a bit of a son of a gun, but loved it, and can't wait until the next Gears comes out, because that definitely sets it up for Gears 6 or whatever they're going to call it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, at what point do they take the numbers off of them?
Well, yeah. When I said Gears 6, I was like, oh, that doesn't sound.
According to
Great.
Final Fantasy, maybe it's at 16.
Oh, if they start doing that, I'm out.
Well, it's kind of, I mean, what's been cool about Gears so far as a series is that you kind of had like the original trilogy and then a sequel of 3, kind of like Star Wars.
Star Wars, yeah. It's like the generations.
Which I think that's probably the way to do it. So I think you'll get like a bow tied on episode 6 or game 6, Gears 6.
And then Tactics is going to tie into it also because it follows Cat as his dad, right?
Yeah,
so that's going to be a
prequel. Yeah.
Which that game looks, oh man, that game looks dope. That's like XCOM meets Gears. I don't know what else you could want. It's going to be a lot of fun. But yeah, I would assume 7 through 9, if they continue, will just be like completely different characters again, and then maybe cameos from them. I don't know, like how you can. I don't know if you can keep going through generations or something. Or
I don't want to spoil it for you. I think I do think you're right. It does set it up for a new bunch, but I think it's that new bunch that you have in 5.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, they have to do something like that. I don't think you can really do more than 3 games of the same character, unless you're Halo, I guess.
Yeah, because people get mad if you don't include him in every single title ever.
Yikes. But
because Master Chief lives always and forever.
Yep. All right, guys, so that's going to do it. That was our top 5 games since Cross Atlantic Gaming debuted back on May 30th of 2018. Good list of games there, for sure.
Yeah, if you haven't played any of them and you have any of those consoles, check them out for sure.
Yeah. All right, and then so the very last thing that we'll do before we get into some news is we are going to give away a pre-order copy of Cyberpunk 2077. There was a plethora of ways to get yourself entered into this, so if you did, congratulations, good work, and hopefully your name pops up here. Let's hit it.
Drum roll, please.
What everybody is actually in chat for.
Where is it? Oh, and the winner of Cyberpunk 2077 is somebody who's been here since day 1, which I think is actually pretty awesome. Viva Lay Sweeney.
No way.
Nice.
Congrats, Sweeney.
Congrats, Sweeney.
For your copy of Cyberpunk 2077. We'll reach out to you, and then whatever platform you want it on, we'll pick that up for you. And thanks to everybody who entered. Thanks. If you entered, that means you're part of this community in one way or another, whether it was listening and giving us code words or hitting emojis inside of Discord or being a patron, subbing on Twitch. All you guys are you're all awesome. We couldn't do this stuff without you guys. Obviously.
Sure there's another congrats in order because he's got a kid due about that same time. So have fun not playing Cyberpunk, Sweeney.
Yeah.
Sweeney, if you can't use that code, I'll definitely be playing it. So hit me up. Is that how that works? Can I take our code?
I don't. As long as when
as long as I give it to him first.
Yeah.
And then he gives it back to me, then it's a gift, and I think it's okay.
That's right. Just
Sounds
put
good.
it, DM it to him in Discord and delete it before he sees it.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I DM'd it to him. He didn't want it.
Yep. Perfect.
Good
That'll
job.
work. Thanks for working that one out for me. Congrats, Sweeney. You guys are awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Do we have? I know we hadn't. This was going to be a weird episode. Obviously, we're however many hours into the show so far, and we haven't talked about what we've been playing. But we haven't really been playing a ton of new stuff this past week. Do any of you guys have just quick stories or anything new that may have happened this week that you want to talk about?
I'm going to leave that up to you, Risky. If you want to talk about it, I will bring it up.
I don't have a ton to talk about, but Moose, you have a pretty good story about Final Fantasies. If you just want to that works for me.
Just go ahead and touch on that subject real quick. So I started over on Final Fantasy last night.
Oh, you chose to start Final Fantasy 7 over?
I sure did. I chose to start over after I realized that my game save was gone.
Oh.
And what happened to it?
So my wife she used to play or watch her brothers play Final Fantasy on the PlayStation, and this was the game that they played. So she watched a couple of YouTube videos and got like super geeked about it. She's like, "Oh, I want to try this. Can I play?" I was like, "Yeah, just start a new save." And so she started a new save, and like me, she gets like 20 or 30 minutes in, and then one of our kids is screeching at the top of their lungs about something that they need right now and then. So she's like, how do I get out of this? I don't want to lose any of this. And I was like, okay, we'll just save it. Just go save, and then collect on the thing and push save. And so she did it. And then when I went back, she didn't save over her autosave. She saved over my save of the game. So I lost like 15 and a half hours.
Oh god.
It's not that bad. That's like a 40 or 50-hour game. So I can play through it. And I think I've made up like the first 3 or 4 hours or so in about an hour and a half last night because I was skipping all the cutscenes, and I'm super efficient now because I know exactly what I'm supposed to do at these points.
That's
So,
true. I guess, yeah, it's a good call.
and
But
there was
still,
actually,
dude.
yeah,
Ugh.
there was one part that I wanted to go back and replay anyways because I chose the wrong things to deactivate on the giant air buster. So I'm gonna go back and
Do it
make
right.
this boss fight a little easier because I can't beat him I couldn't beat him now because the save's gone, but I couldn't beat him at the current save that I was at. So I was upset for a little while. Basically, my wife's like, I'm really sorry. I was like, it's fine. I'm going to go to bed now.
And I'm done for today. Okay.
Yeah. And then I laid in bed for a little while and was messing around on Animal Crossing. I was like, yeah, you know what? I'll just go out there and start over. So I jumped on and played for a little bit. And it's no big deal. It's not like it's a game that I hate. So, if it was Red Dead, like at the beginning of Red Dead, and I had to play chapters 1 through 3 again, I probably wouldn't touch it again.
If you had to hike through those snowy mountains
Yeah.
for the first
And
couple hours again.
Like, dude, chapter 2 is the worst chapter of that game. It seems like it drags on forever, and that idiot moves camp on you every 10 minutes.
Oh, I found a new camp. Oh,
Right,
great.
and it's
Of
all
course
the way
we
across
did.
the map because I just traversed all the way over here, and nobody said anything to me or passed me on the trail, which should have happened. So, yeah. But
Some
it's
deep-seated negative feelings towards that game.
it just seemed to drag on at some points longer than it should have.
Understandable.
But yeah, I'm it's upsetting, but it's fine. It's not like I said, it's not like I was 40 hours in or on the last boss fight or something like that.
I think I would
So-
just YouTube the last boss fight and watch.
Yeah, exactly.
This is how it ends. Okay. I'm content.
Wah, wah, wah.
But I guess in this game, like Art was telling me that one of the boss fights took him like a month and a half to beat or something like that because he just couldn't figure out the right strategy to beat him. So we got that to look forward to. They said that the airbuster fight that I'm on right now should take you about 30 to 45 minutes.
But he's going off of the old turn-based hours,
No,
I'm assuming.
This is off of a guide that my wife was watching for the remake. She said that boss fight is going to take about 30 to 45 minutes.
Gotcha.
And I got him down to like 5% the other night, and then he did his ultimate and wiped my whole team, and I was like, no.
It's
And that
tough,
was the
dude.
last time I played.
Yeah, that's tough, but like when you finally beat it, it's just
Yeah,
it kind
it
of
feels
makes
so
those
good.
struggles worth it.
Right. So I'm excited to get back to it and get back to where I was and find out more about the story because I don't like stories in games usually, but this one's kind of like Assassin's Creed. I'm involved.
Yeah.
So.
No, it's good. How about you, Barry? You have anything new going on? Or are you just racking up wins in Apex? That's really all you can ask for.
Well, no, I've been doing my achievement catching, so I've finally knocked out Brother: A Tale of Two Sons. So
Oh, nice.
I've 1000 G'd that bad boy, so that's gone and off the hard drive. So I'm very happy with that.
How'd that one wrap? Pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I did finish it and missed the last achievement I was on, but that is a great story, and the mechanic of the game, it completely messes with your head. So I was doing it this morning and trying to remember at 5 a.m. that the left stick is the little
Controlled
brother
the little
and-
brother.
Oh, Jesus, yeah. So after a couple of coffees, I managed to get it, and I was very happy.
There you go.
Yeah, so it's just now a bit of achievement hunting and deciding what is going to be my single player game, which I might jump into Assassin's Creed. I'm
I wouldn't
scared
do
though.
that one for achievements though, Bear.
No, I know. I'm going to now kind of divide my gaming time into Apex,
Yeah.
story-driven game, and then a day for achievement hunting.
Okay. Well, I got 2 suggestions. Give it like 10 hours and play as Cassandra. Don't play as the boy.
Yep.
Okay.
That's all I heard was don't play as the brother, play as the
Yes.
sister.
Yes, I remember that. Yeah, I will definitely play as her.
Cool. Well, I can't wait for you to try it, and hopefully Risky will get into it at some point too. Because I just, it's kind of like a proud parent, be like, play this. It's good. It's good.
It's
Try it.
Right.
But you guys take my suggestions and throw them in the dumpster. So
Oh, come on,
Baloney.
Clive.
I played. What was that stupid dungeon game? Dandy Dungeon.
that game was great.
Okay.
You liked it.
Oh, here we go.
La, 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 la.
It gave me some laughs.
Yeah.
That's about it.
It was fun. It was a new twist on dungeon crawlers.
And we won't even bring up 9 Parchments. So,
You won't even try.
something you should have talked about in the retrospect is how long 9 Parchments being a joke has gone on. I think that was way before you were a podcast host.
Oh yeah, it's been
Yeah.
going on since basically I had video games. I think.
9 Parchments. Pick it up in the eShop. It's only 57 cents.
Yeah, it's usually about $1 or so every other week.
All right, you good, Chocolate, then?
Yeah, good.
All right. As far as I go, I haven't been doing much at all. So I hopped
Just
on Animal
putting 1,000
Crossing.
hours into Warzone. This
Yeah,
last
dude.
week,
And to avoid turning this into a Warzone podcast, I'm gonna say, yeah, I played some of that, obviously. But you sent me a message this morning, and you were like, "Yo, did you get your turnips?" And I was like, what?
Yeah.
Oh, Animal Crossing. And then I looked at my watch, and it was like 12:15. I was like, nope, another week of missing the turnip lady who sells all the turnips. And you were like, fun tip, I'm 2 hours behind you. So she's still at my island. So funny enough, you just opened up the gates. I ran to your island, and there she was, turnip lady selling turnips for $90 a pop.
That's the lowest price that you can get them at too.
And it's awesome because you sent me a message. You're like, just bring $280,000 with you. And I was like, well, I've got 80,000 like max. And you're like, all
You
right,
scrub.
just show up. I'll drop a bunch of money on the ground and you can buy a bunch of turnips. So
that's why I've seen all these turnips on Twitter and everything
Yeah.
else. And
it's like
But
the
they're just
stock
called-
market.
Yeah, they're called nips if you're in the know. So
Oh,
when
see,
some
I don't even
people
know what they're
talking about
called.
nips, bear. It's not what you think it is.
well, obviously not. I was anyway.
He was interested in the nip business until he found
It's
out
like,
it was
there's
about
nips
vegetables.
in Animal Crossing. I am buying this game tomorrow.
Sold.
So yeah, there you go. That's your fun Animal Crossing tip for the week. Is if you're playing with somebody in a time zone that's behind you, you can catch old events before they are gone, or catch the nip lady before she leaves with her stock
right.
of nips.
If it's Sunday, you got to make sure you wake up in time to get your nips.
Yep. And if you're up till 4 a.m. playing Warzone, you're not waking up before noon. I can attest to that.
Oh yeah, and you have to wait till 8, huh? I don't think she shows up till 8.
Why? That's such a small. Why couldn't she show up at 4 a.m.? I could just do it before I went to bed.
Because you can make $2 million in the nip market, bro.
That.
Yeah.
Speaking of the nip market, yeah, all right. I think we're good. That's a quick little what we've been playing this week. I'll touch on Game Pass before we move into the news, which will be a short news segment, I promise. The current Game Pass roulette game is Lonely Mountain Downhill. This is a Game Pass roulette challenge version of Game Pass, I guess. There's definitely a better way I could have said that. Anyways, you need to go to Gratterhorn Mountain. You need to be on Trail 2. You need to be in free rider mode, and you can use any bike you want. The time you're trying to beat is Rocker Dude's time of 1 minute 46 seconds. You guys have another couple weeks to beat this score. If one of the three of us doesn't beat Rocker's time or anyone else, he's gonna win himself $10. Otherwise, that money can go and roll into the next Game Pass Roulette Challenge in a couple months here. So we still have some work to do. I tried to improve on my time, I think 2 or 3 days ago, and I couldn't come close to my original time. So I've somehow digressed or not digressed,
Yeah.
gone
Gone
back,
backwards.
gone backwards.
Just finishing the run is a feat in itself. So I think I
Right.
have to
So
improve 45 seconds on just finishing. So
that's not going well. um, But yeah, so everybody get out there, try to beat Rocker. We have a channel in Discord for Game Pass Roulette. The current time will be posted there, the fastest time. And if you do happen to beat it, reach out to us via Twitter or in Discord, and we'll get your time posted.
screenshots.
Screenshots for sure.
Pictures.
I don't want to just hear, yeah, I did it in 36 seconds. No, you didn't. You're a
What, with a
liar.
helicopter? Good job.
It has like world leaderboards too, and I think Rocker's like 14th on it. So
Jeez.
good luck, everybody. Apparently, this was a game that, I was like, all right, I can probably hang in this one. And then I've got 45 seconds I have to make up somewhere on this mountain.
Yeah, it's tough to do this challenge with all the achievement hunters in our community because not only have they played these games, but they've mastered them.
And they're all just very good at video games for some reason.
Right. He's like, oh yeah, 1,000 gamers scored that game last month.
Yeah, one of the
Cool.
achievements was to get under 2 minutes on Trail 2 on Freerider.
Right.
Of course it was. Why wouldn't it? So that's Game Pass Roulette for the month of April. Couple more weeks, like I said on that. All right, so with that, we're going to get into some news. All right, Moose, what is going on in the news this week?
Like you said, we're gonna have a shorter news segment. Because
Quick
we're
hits!
already at an hour and a half here.
Ooh.
So we've got 6 items to talk about. First one was the system update Nintendo just had. 3 major points that they brought up with this one. The first one, I think everybody is happy to know about, is you can now remap your Joy-Cons and your Pro controllers.
Yay.
So if you thought Nintendo was silly with the way they designed their game and put their button assignment, now you can change it to whatever you'd like. The settings can be saved to each controller or Joy-Con, and each can save up to 5 profiles per controller or Joy-Con. So that's pretty cool. You can also now transfer data back and forth between the internal hard drive and the external slot. So I don't know why that wasn't something before, but I guess it was a giant pain where you had to plug everything into your computer or download some sort of app and transfer things back and forth. So now you can just transfer things on and off the internal hard drive from your memory card.
Huh. I did not know that was even an
I
issue.
didn't either. Yeah, everything's in the cloud, so I never even tried it. You know what I
Right.
mean? And then the third thing is they added some new figures for your picture. So they added 6 lovable Animal Crossing avatars.
Tom Nook's got to be one of them.
Tom Nook is one of them, as well as the cute little puppy, I forget his name now, that sings the songs. So when you beat the game, he comes and does a concert.
Oh, is that KK Slider?
Yeah, it's KK Slider. There
Nice.
you go. So I think I might be changing mine from Star Fox to KK, but I think everybody on my friends list right now is KK Slider, so I might let it die down a little bit first.
Yeah. Makes
So
sense.
That's good news for all the Nintendo Switch owners being able to remap.
Yeah, I was gonna say I like the remapping a lot because I remember when the Nintendo Online service came up and you had like Super Mario Brothers, the A and B were like backwards from how they used to be, so you couldn't like sprint and jump comfortably. So
Yeah, because you had to go, like, your thumb just doesn't work the same way.
yeah, like that would have been a perfect scenario where being able to map those would have been perfect. So
Yeah, and I'm hoping, I haven't tried it yet, but you remember when I was telling you that my plus and minus buttons are swapped with the right and left bumpers, and I don't know how to get it back.
oh yeah,
So I'm hoping that this fixes my Pro Controller without having to send it to Nintendo.
that's so weird.
Right. But I looked it up, and they said it's just a defect in the controller, and you have to send it in to get it fixed. So I'm hoping this remapping will fix my, be a solution to my problem.
Right, fingers crossed.
Yeah. So that wraps up the Nintendo news. Let's go to PlayStation for a little bit. PlayStation just announced last week they're giving away a couple free games to help people stay at home and, enjoy their time at home. So they're giving away Uncharted, the Nathan Drake collection, which is the first 3 Uncharted games. If you haven't played these, do it because they're awesome.
Yep, especially for free.
Yeah, no doubt. And then if you have PlayStation Plus, the PlayStation Plus game this month is Uncharted 4. So you can get that whole collection right now.
And that is hours and hours of
Yeah,
entertainment.
that's
Nathan
like
Drake's the man.
hundreds. Yeah, I still have to play through 3 and 4.
Same.
So I have them on my PlayStation. I just, got to find the time. So let's see. Also, the other game they're giving away is Journey, which I never played, but I guess it's an indie darling people love.
Yeah, that I didn't play it either, but I remember like the kind of funny guys always used to talk about it. It's probably Podcast Beyond way back then,
Right.
but
Yeah.
yeah, they love that game.
So some people, you can't make everybody happy on the internet. Some people are pissed because these were both previous PlayStation Plus titles. But, who cares if you're getting a free game and you already had it? Well, you're going to be, beggars are being choosers at this point, right? They're trying to do something nice.
Right,
And,
just let them do something nice.
yeah, you're going to be ungrateful because it doesn't, you're not applicable. Wow. So, internet people, they're the best. So another good thing that PlayStation did during this whole COVID-19 pandemic, they started a $10 million fund for indie developers. So let me pull up a little thing that they wrote here. They said to support, let's see, nope, that's not it. Sorry, I had this pulled up and then everything got shut on me.
Moose.
Yeah, I know. Okay, here we go. Independent developers are vital to the heart and soul of gaming community, and we understand that hardships and financial struggles that many smaller gaming studios are facing. With that, SIE has developed a fund to support them during this time. We have earmarked $10 million to support our independent development partners. More information about the fund will be made available soon.
Moose
So-
is not words.
Yeah, I can't read. I forgot about that. Sorry, guys.
Okay. That's
So-
so awesome though.
Yeah, they're just setting aside money for these guys just in case they need it because, obviously, a 300-person company is going to fare better than a 3 or 30-person company.
Like you have to think of how bad some indie devs struggle when everything's fine.
Right.
Like
Yeah, they're just trying to be able to make rent to keep an office space.
Exactly,
Now they can't even
so-
go to that office space.
right.
So
Good for-
I think this is cool.
Good for them. Yeah, that's awesome.
Right. So that's it for PlayStation. Risky, did you ever play or know anybody that played Crysis back in the day on the PC?
Yeah, I didn't play it. I know of it. It's always just kind of been like a staple PC game,
Right.
like some game that somehow hasn't aged. Like
Yeah.
it's
it
just
kind of
the
reminds me
best
of-
looking game on PC forever and always somehow.
Yeah, since 2005, I think, is when it came out.
Okay, yeah.
And people were literally building computers for this game back in '05. Like, people were upgrading parts and building new computers so that it'll run this thing. And now it's coming to consoles as a remaster. So it's going to be Switch, PlayStation, Xbox, and PC will be the remaster. But think of it as a remaster, not a remake. So
Right,
fresh coat
just
of paint,
prettier.
HD textures, 4K, stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah.
But the gameplay and the mechanics are all going to stay the same. So it's probably going to feel like an old ass game.
Right?
But-
Like it can get prettier, but the mechanics are still going to be the same.
Right. It's a PC shooter from 2005.
Right. Exactly.
So it's like when I try to go back and play Wolfenstein and there's not mantle and there's not jump and I'm just like, what is wrong with
Wolfenstein's
this
so
game?
good. Just play it.
I know, I'm trying. So, yeah, there's no release date yet, but I guess, some people are stoked for that. I know Cabo posted this in our news section, so I think he might be one of those ones looking forward to it. And then I got a couple more things here. This is one of the bigger news things from last week is Jason Schreier tweeted out that he is no longer going to be working with Kotaku.
Our boy Jason Schreier.
Yeah.
Cross Atlantic Gaming signed him, guys. He'll be on the podcast next week.
That's right. He's going to be our new correspondent.
Could you imagine?
In the field.
You heard it here first.
You want to up our numbers? Let's just get Schreier on the podcast as a co-host.
You gave him all the monies.
Yes, you could have all of our dollars.
So he tweeted on April 16th. It says, some news. After 8 years and some change, I am leaving Kotaku. I'm taking a few weeks off to finish up my book and hang out with my daughter, then starting a new job reporting on video games at another outlet. I wrote one last thing to say goodbye. And it says, he wrote an article labeled Press Sneak Out. And there were some politics in it. And basically, the reasons he's leaving, and also giving everybody at Kotaku a thank you. And, it doesn't look like it was amicably the way they separated.
Which I feel like this was happening a while ago.
Right.
Like,
Yeah, it was a few months
he was
ago
on
when
his
he,
way
like,
out.
quit.
Yeah.
He was like, you guys aren't going to censor when I think it was like Deadspin and all those media outlets got bought by a big conglomerate, and I don't remember who it was, but they were going to try to start censoring everything they put out, and basically there was a filter they were going to have to put it through, and Schreier was just like, that ain't happening. You're not doing that to my work.
Yeah,
So,
wasn't there was like ads all over it too? They were like
Yeah.
running mid like editorial, I guess.
right,
Like
yeah,
right
making
in the
it
middle of
look
the
like it
articles.
was- yeah, exactly. Make it look like it was part of a Kotaku article, or it was pretty dirty stuff.
And people were yelling at him, and he was like, "Yo, if you want to talk to somebody about this, like,
Yeah.
hit up these guys. They just bought us, and now you guys are seeing ads. Not my
So,
fault."
I know he tweeted out that he quit a few months ago, and then I guess he was back reporting for him later that week or on Monday. So I guess he finally reached his threshold, and I'm excited to see where he lands.
Yeah.
IGN, you think?
Well, because didn't he say he's going to another news outlet?
Yeah.
So
Yep, he said he'll be working for another outlet. He's just
Okay,
taking
right.
a couple weeks off to work on a book and hang out with his kids, and nobody's allowed to go anywhere. So that
Yeah,
might be
I mean,
convenient too.
do you go anywhere else? Like,
Yeah, I know,
what's
that's
left?
like Polygon, maybe.
yeah, sure.
Polygon
I'm
or
surprised that he's not
Gameware.
doing like something independently,
Yeah, starting his own.
like Schreier Gaming News.
Oh
Yeah.
God.
At least we
Maybe
only
he's
have to go to
going
one website to get all of our news.
Dude, maybe he's going to that new network, Ven.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. We just talked about that last week.
Right.
Huh? That'd be
Maybe he'll
interesting.
be like their George, what is his name? The Greek guy,
George.
George Stephanopoulos,
Oh,
Oh,
the guy from ABC. you
Yep.
know. So yeah, good luck to Jason. Hopefully he finds a better place than he was, because nobody wants to work under conditions that they feel are unfair.
right. Sounded like he was over that place for a while. So
Yeah, exactly. So, and the last thing I wanted to feature, which was just unveiled yesterday, is the Cyberpunk Xbox One X. Have you guys seen this thing?
it's beautiful.
Oh, it is so sexy, dude.
That controller
Looks like
too.
yeah.
oh, looks good.
The
doesn't
console looks like a piecemeal of just like Cyberpunk parts that they just, manufactured, and it looks like it's straight out of the game. And then it's got like this giant tag on the bottom of it of graffiti. Oh, it's so cool. I suggest if you're listening to this right now, Google the Cyberpunk Xbox One X, because it makes me want to get rid of mine and not get the new one and just get this console, because it's really cool.
We should have just raffled off a pre-order of a sweet Cyberpunk Xbox. Maybe next
Because
year.
we have that money. Just reach into Chocolate's gold vault.
Ah,
and
yes.
be fine.
Scrooge
Listen,
McDuck to the vault.
I could be doing some news streams with some suitable attire.
Love it.
No.
So, unless you guys got anything to add, that's all I got for the news this week.
No, sir.
No, sir.
So loud. I don't know why. I put it so far away from the microphone, too.
It's just because it's so high pitched. I think.
Yeah.
It's just the crinkle noise. All right, Chocolate. We have any games coming out this week?
We have a few.
All right.
I don't know how many people are going to be interested, but let's go. Brutal Rage is out on the 21st of April, and that's on the Xbox. We have. This is going to be not an acronym, and I apologise. ITTA, ITA,
It,
maybe.
Yeah.
It a game.
It
It again. I feel like I mentioned this already.
You
and that's
did
on the
because we made that same joke.
Sure did.
What day are we?
Exactly, Barry. It
Oh
feels
my
like
god. Let's move on. Anyway, Cloudpunk, that's out on the 23rd of April, and that's on the Switch, the Xbox, and the PlayStation. We've got Sunless Sea Zumbarina Edition, and that's on the 23rd of April on the Nintendo Switch and Xbox.
You waiting for that one, Bear?
Oh, I can't wait. It sounds so good. Look at it as Zumbarina. Sounds like a new hot dance.
Right up your alley.
Definitely. We have Naruto finally makes its way onto the Nintendo Switch on the 24th of April. Trials of Mana, which
Yeah,
Moose
buddy.
is excited for. This is coming out on the 24th of April on the Switch, the PlayStation, and the PC. And finally, Guard Duty on the 24th of April on the Switch. Try not to say that twice.
I won't.
Good. Game Pass games. There were some PC games. I missed them, so I apologise. But I'm going to go through the main bulk that have been released. You've got Gato Roboto, which is out. The Long Dark, Deliver Us, The Moon, Levelhead, and Hyperdot. Those are the games out this week.
Those games slap.
They slap something.
I guess. Okay, and then we don't have any Game
No.
Pass editions.
No, that was the Game Pass edition. Those
was
last
Game
three.
Pass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need to pay more attention. You're right.
Yeah.
It helps to listen if you're going to host.
Show's over, everybody. Thanks for stopping by. Just kidding. All right. Thanks for that, Bear. Sorry, next time I'll listen better. I'm wearing I was trying to put my Batman mask on, so I wasn't listening. All right.
Important things, Risky. Important things.
Yep. Just trying to do it for the people. This is for you, Gotham. All right, let's plug this thing up. Streamerlinks.com/CAG podcast. That link will have the link to all the links. It'll take you to Discord. It'll take you to Patreon, Apple Podcasts, where you can rate us, review us, all that fun stuff. It'll have our social media outlets, Twitter, Instagram, where we post content throughout the week. And then if you need to reach out via email for anything, cagpodcast@gmail.com. That's probably on Streamer Links, I'm assuming, right, Bear?
I don't think the email is. I don't think I can link the email one.
That's fine. So
That was the issue.
if you do need to reach out via email for anything, cagpodcast@gmail.com. If you need to find me, I am at Risky the Kid everywhere. Chocolate, how about you?
At Chocolate Bear 80 everywhere.
And Moose.
Moosenstein, 8314, all places.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to the last 100 episodes of Cross Atlantic Gaming. We'll catch you guys next week for an all-new episode. Goodbye.
See ya.
Later, friends.
Give them those codes, Chocolate.
Okay. I'm going to give you some codes. Right. P7RQ7 CVFYKY627P WXTQY 4D23Z, and I've got one more code for you. Right, here you go. GTWGJQGD6RCW7WP 7PKQJVQH2Z. Man, I hate those Qs. Jump into Discord, there might be some more.
Happy episode 100, everybody. Goodbye.
See?
Why did the skeleton not cross the road?
I don't know.
Oh dear.
Because he didn't have the guts.
But ch.